that you belong together. That relationship itself is already in the process of dissolving because they're meant to be with you. You are already meant to have whatever it is that you feel that you want to have deep down in your heart and soul. And all of the movement that needs to happen probably already started happening before you even realized what it was that you wanted. Like, in other words, all of creation is already done. Even in the 3D, when it appears that something is like crumbling in front of you, that something that's happening is a bridge to what it is that you do want to manifest. And I'm going to use an example again that I already shared a video of in the past, but there was a detail that I only shared with the very first video that I did that I left out in the last one. And I think it's actually crucial. So before I get into this, if you want me to be your coach to help you manifest either your specific person back or change the dynamic or anything related to health, wealth, anything at all, feel free to email me a short description to kim@coreunion.com. Then book your session with me at my website, coreunion.com. My scheduling assistant will get back to you with my next available session. Remember when I talked about how I had manifested so much in my reality and very intentionally? One of the things was an interior design business, and I should not have been successful in it, but it was awesome and amazing. And I learned so much through a lot of resistance and a lot of challenges in the 3D. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today, I was in a particular city that was not good for business, and the business was suffering. I wanted to be making 100,000 a month. And at this point, I was probably making a few $100s a month. I wanted to move my business to a particular city that I absolutely was in love with. This city was known to be hard to break into. Without going into all of the details, I was urged after work to go drive to this other city and enjoy myself just for the pleasure of it, just for fun. I'm walking and I decided to walk and take a right. I was literally, it felt so strong, the pulling. I see this storefront, beautiful. I feel this pull, this piercing inside of my soul, inside the center of me, inside my core. Same exact feeling I felt when I saw my mirror Solhana's eyes, the very first time I saw a picture of them. I went across the street and I just looked at the storefront and I said, this is my new home. This is the new home of my business. The part that I didn't mention, that I'm going to mention now, and then I'll finish this out. And I'm going to, because this is important. I I walked across the street and I was being very naive here. I didn't realize that I shouldn't have done what I did, but I walked in the store and I just asked for the owner. The employee said, they're not here. Can I leave a message for them? I said, sure. They said, what's your name? I told them my name and they said, what's the message? And I said, I was just wondering if they were looking to move store locations. So now I left there. I'm on the way home. I decide, and this is when I was making no money. I see an open house sign. I decide to go look at a $1 million home that was beautiful and amazing. So I get to know the real estate broker. We're just chatting. It could have been the next day or so. I get a call while I was getting ready to go to work. I'm doing my hair and I get a call on my phone. I answer the phone and a man was on the phone and he started cussing me out. He was so upset with me and so angry. He basically said he was the owner of that business. And he said, how dare you? How dare you come in and talk to my employees about that location? And I just couldn't, I think I started crying. I felt so bad. I couldn't stop apologizing profusely. And I kept saying, I'm so sorry. I don't even know what I did wrong, but I really apologize. And he was just like, you're so freaking stupid. How could you not know what you did? And I was like, sir, I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to do anything. I didn't mean to cause any harm. Hung up the phone and I felt awful and I was crying. Fast forward, a couple days goes by. I'm at my business. So this is the part I told you guys in the story. A multimillionaire travels down from that city to come and see me, somebody who's not known at all, who has no money. The business is pretty much just sitting there, like, quote unquote, failing, not really, but that's how it appears. It's not doing well. And she comes to tell me that she's been watching me in the business And she wanted to see if I was interested in opening a store location. I asked in the city and I said, yes, I do want to. And I said, what's the address? And she said it was that exact address, that the tenant that's currently there has to go and has to leave. So the thing that I wanted to bring up that's so crucial about this story, that the parts that I left out, was that I didn't cause that business financial distress or business to fail by going in and talking to the employee. That was already in the works. That was already in process. That was already falling apart. It just didn't look like that on the surface. When he called me and was yelling at me, it was because he was hiding from his employees that his business was in trouble. And me unknowingly let the cat out of the bag. Doing that wasn't intentionally middling because I had no idea. It was a completely innocent thing and it was inspired action. I didn't let go of the store location being there. I still felt deep down in my heart, I belong there. And then I continued to let it unfold. But you see how there was upheaval of a problem that was really bad and a situation that was kind of very uncomfortable. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up with is if you're, say, for example, that you know that you belong with your person, you and your person, you feel like deep down in my heart and soul, this is my person, and you guys ended up with the wrong people, and you're feeling like you're doing something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. When you choose and you make a decision, I trust in my heart and soul that we belong together, and you choose yourself and you choose the relationship, you have to trust and realize that that other person that they're with, the third party, they don't belong with them. They belong with you. Just like that store owner didn't belong in that store. I did. Visualizing myself in that store wasn't what caused the problem. That was already going to dissolve. So the relationship, you're not causing problems in someone else's relationship when you just trust that you belong together. That relationship itself is already in the process of dissolving because they're meant to be with you. Okay, but you just can't stay focused on the 3D circumstance. No matter what is happening in the 3D, you have to trust in your heart and soul and trust that God created the two of you guys for each other and everything that needs to happen is happening. Most of my videos aren't around just like limerence and infatuation and lightly dating people and just wanting a text message. Of course, if you want to date somebody, of course you can manifest dating them. Of course, if you're in limerence can be a form of just obsession over somebody. And in some cases, a true love can turn into limerence, but in a lot of cases, sometimes somebody just wants to be with somebody because of a rejection story. And then when they do the work, which you're going to have to do regardless on themselves, and they get in their power, then they realize, oh, I actually don't really want them anymore. And that's okay too. The point I'm trying to make here, and by the way, if you just want to lightly date somebody, you can manifest them too. I want you to go in your heart and soul and not from your mental, from your mind. Okay. That's what I want you to do is get more in your body, in your love, and especially in your love for yourself and not making all of this all about your person, because this entire thing is is showing you that you can't make it all about your specific person. You can't put them up on a pedestal. It's just not healthy. In a healthy relationship, people are pulling themselves up. They're bringing each other up. They're supporting each other equally. There's no pedestal. Okay. When this is you, this is your person. You want to be thinking of the two of you guys as one. So you guys are together. If you keep putting them outside of you and keep putting them above you and being more important than you and ignoring and neglecting yourself, you're separating them. Now you're believing in the illusion of separation. You're feeling like they're outside of you and they're better than you, and you're making them appear bigger than you. So you're increasing the value in them and you're decreasing the value in yourself. So you're playing small here. You can't do this. You have to see your own value. And when you fill yourself up with all this love and you fill yourself up with all this value, then the two of you guys can be equal. Okay, so it's no longer like up on a pedestal. You also don't want to think of them as being small and think of yourself as being better than them, because that's a problem too. You want to make it equal. Okay, no pedestals, equally loving each other and focus on the oneness. As soon as you start to make all of your inner work all about them, you're doing this again, you're separating them. And then it's this energy that, like, let's say, like when you're doing the inner work, it's like them. All this does is this just keeps moving them right away from you. You have to get in your power and your peace in the center of yourself and loving yourself. And then that will allow the two of you guys to be, you have to be whole and complete in yourself. You have to be in trust of yourself, in choosing yourself and loving yourself and cherishing yourself, and not make it all about them. And then you can get into that oneness. Okay. Anyway, I hope that this video helped. I love you guys so much. Reach out to me if you need me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.